everybody, welcome back to episode 132 on this Tuesday night. I was just telling David, it kind of looks like we're in the front of there's a painting in the background. The clouds are really pretty.
A painting of clouds?
Yeah. It's very pretty.
I guess. It's hot enough we could have done it from the pool.
We could. It's like, it is humid out here, and we've had a lot of rain. It might start raining, so we'll see how long we can do it. But we thought we would try doing it out here. But yeah, and like other parts of the country that are a heat wave and no water, no rain or anything, we've gotten a lot. So I was thinking, like, even if it was like even remotely warm in the morning, I want to just swim before work. Like, that would be so fun. And do.
It was pretty warm this morning, and then it started raining.
Yeah.
So that probably wouldn't have worked out as well.
I definitely thought about it, and same, as soon as I came downstairs, there was like raindrops on there. Not that I can't swim in raindrops, but it's just like not as fun.
Yeah, it was very humid and it was warm. But...
And unfortunately, we had to work today, so
yeah.
it was whole sun on the pool this afternoon, and I was like, oh my god, that would be so amazing, but we had to work, so unfortunately.
The other thing is that the timer for the filter is not working properly, so I came out here. I don't even recall what time it was. It was after 8 because I had a 7 o'clock meeting, which was ridiculous. It was after that. But the filter hadn't turned on. And then I looked at the timer, and we must have changed it. Initially, we had it set for 8 o'clock. We must have changed that to 9 o'clock. So then I came out later.
Still
although
not.
I don't remember changing it, but whatever.
I know.
I came out later after 9, and it still wasn't on. So
we have to leave a note for them if we don't.
Well,
see
that's
them
true.
tomorrow.
They did say that we could leave a note.
Yeah, they said a lot of times they communicate, the pool company that does the maintenance, by you can leave a note for something like that. Because we're both working, they just come in our backyard, so we don't even know they're here half the time. So that'll be interesting.
I forgot about that. I would have done that. Although it's going to rain overnight and into the morning. So
you're like, what does this note say?
Yeah,
it'll
be blank.
Yeah.
But in any event.
In other news, we have another addition to our family, maybe. A little tiny newborn bunny was
small.
just seen while David was taking out the trash. So I immediately had to come out and take a look. It was not scared of us at all.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like curious. It was sort of coming over to us.
Yeah.
It was literally
like that big.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 inches long, maybe.
Cute. So we do have bunnies in our backyard that I've been feeding carrots to. There's a big one, 2 little ones. But this is a different family. It seems like these people are different, unless that mom has like another baby.
I don't know. But the big one was sitting nearby, which we didn't notice at first.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad to see because it wasn't obviously abandoned because we're making some assumptions, but I assume the big one that was
in
nearby
the vicinity
was the mother.
Yeah.
Because it didn't move. It was kind of keeping an eye on everything.
Just kind of like looking like, I see you guys, don't touch my baby.
So hopefully that's the case. But we didn't pick him up, the little one up or anything.
David was lucky because he had rabbits growing up, which is like the most fantastic thing. I was thinking about that because you had dogs, you had the rabbits.
Well, we never had more than one dog at a time.
That's true.
We did have more than one.
And I had no pets growing up except for goldfish that obviously don't last very long.
I had a lot of fish. I had several aquariums. That was kind of a thing for a while. The rabbits were funny. They came from a famous place. I don't know. There's a nightclub in our old town, called Fitzgerald's, and the rabbits actually came from the sister of the guy who owned it. Well, they didn't actually, at that time, he didn't own it yet, but I shouldn't say the sister. They had rabbits. I don't know who in the family had them. Their rabbits had more rabbits, as that happens.
And were your parents like, you can have it, but you have to take care of it kind of thing?
Well, I wasn't involved in the conversation because it was a gift. They were a gift.
You can't say no to a gift.
One of my sisters got them, I guess for my birthday. And I was like 8 or 9 years old at the time. I was young. But so it was her friend. She was very close friends with one of the Fitzgerald family members. And anyway, so that's how they came to us. But at that point, they didn't own the bar yet.
Was it two? How many did you have?
3.
3.
I had to think about it for a minute. Yeah, there were
That's
3.
so awesome.
I think they were siblings, although to be honest, I don't know that part. They looked alike though. They were black, or very, very dark gray. Not really black, but very dark gray.
But you kept them outside.
We did, except in the winter, we put them in the garage, and we had like a space heater kind of thing. Although on occasion the water bottles would freeze, and we had to thaw them out. But you know, rabbits live outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
So
They're out.
they were fine. They had shelter, and they were fine. We put lots of hay in there. That had an enclosure, so part of it was inside, so they could go and stay warm.
I would
It's a long
like put
story.
blankets, pillows.
It was
They
a
probably
long,
don't care about that.
drawn-out process. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome though. That was lucky that you got to have rabbits for
Yeah.
a while.
I was gonna say a frog. I'm not sure if I had. My brother had. Oh, you know, I did. I had one of the. You know, there's certain frogs that are like almost in water all the time, and they
Yes,
be there,
yes.
but they stay in water. But what's funny is, so I had this frog for a while because I had it in an aquarium with fish because they don't bother the fish. But it didn't live very long for some reason. They can be difficult to feed. But it reminds me that my brother Mark had one of the same kind of frog, but his was
yes.
big because he'd had it for ages.
Forever.
I don't know when they got it. Maybe when their daughter was little.
I do remember not
But
going to
we
family
would-
parties and
yeah.
seeing it. It was like on the top of the refrigerator or
In a
something
bowl,
like that.
and,
Yeah.
and it lived for ages and
So
ages
long.
and ages. It wasn't in a bowl. It was in an aquarium.
Yeah.
But and I can't recall offhand if they had fish. They were popular for a while. I can't tell you
Is
what
that the
they were.
kind where you like have a branch and so that it can sit on the branch, but then it can go in the water and come back?
Yeah, I
kind of thing?
think that was kind of how it was set up. I don't remember that well, but they're kind of that particular. They're like newts, you know, where they basically stay in the water their whole lives.
Oh.
So so they're fine with being in water all the time. But in any event, yeah. So the frog, I did not have great success with the frog, which I can't think what they're called offhand.
I can't either, actually.
And they
I know
I
if as soon as I hear it, I'll remember.
believe, I may be wrong about this. I think they're native to somewhere in Africa. I don't think they're, from North or South America. I think they're from, anyway, whatever. They like water, they stay in water, but I did not have much success. And I had gerbils.
Wow.
Yeah. But mostly fish. The fish were a big deal.
I think at least gerbils you can like hold, kind of thing.
Yeah, they were all right.
Instead of like, were you ever able to hold the rabbits? Would they sit in your lap like a cat?
Yeah, well, I don't recall them sitting in that, but we had these, there was this kind of like wire, sort of these loops that you'd put around a garden, you know? So we could set that up in the backyard in like a square or a rectangle, and they couldn't, it was high enough that they couldn't
It had
get
like a
over.
little playpen.
So we put them out in the yard for a bit. They were not going to run away, A bigger fear would have been like if a neighborhood dog got in the yard, or something like that. But no, we let them out from time to time.
That is so cute. I never had gerbils. I think the only animal I would not want is a bird, because they're kind of noisy.
They're really cool, but they're a lot of work. They're really, really smart, and they're neat. I mean, they're like dogs or cats. I mean, you actually kind of bond with them, so that's kind of cool. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Plus, some species of birds just live, 80 years or so, and so you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, who's gonna take it?
Right, you have to leave some. We talked about that before, but you have to put something in your will. Because the bird is probably gonna outlive you unless you get it when you're very young. I mean, the little, like parakeets and stuff aren't necessarily gonna live that long, but
That's
the
true.
big ones like parrots and macaws and that sort of thing.
Speaking of birds.
Yeah, we have a lot of birds in the neighborhood. We haven't yet figured out all the different varieties. but
No.
That's a cardinal making a lot of noise. But
Yeah, that's definitely a cardinal. Those are the
And
ones
some
that are
others.
like early sometimes. You hear in the early thing. So yeah, we're just kind of like getting through the week. As we mentioned, we have a 4-day weekend coming up, so
I keep
it's
forgetting.
the week is going by fast so far. So at least there's that going for us. And I think this weekend we're gonna have nice weather. so we will not be like last weekend, just totally.
I think it's supposed to rain in the morning, like overnight and into the morning tomorrow, and then I think we're supposed to have like 80s and even up to like 90 from like Thursday through past, well, through the 5th. Like I was going to say through the 4th of July, but through the 5th, I think.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna try to grill out on your new grill, which would be fun.
Which is kind of behind us.
Yeah, it has a little tarp on it now. One of the things
turns out
we
to
noticed,
be a good thing because it's been raining so much.
Yeah, we were gonna grill out on Saturday night, but we just brought it from the garage to the deck, and then we opened it. There's like a bunch, not a bunch, but there's packing peanuts.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
in
that.
there, and you know the static, so they were kind of like stuck to the side and everything, and we were
just
like,
remnants of
no,
them. But I don't want them to. I don't want to be inhaling that, so we'll have to figure out how to de-static them.
I know. I was
spray
like,
spray the static guard stuff on them, it'll fall off.
And be like, what kind of chips do you use?
Yeah.
Static guard. And hopefully our oldest daughter's going to come visit with her partner this weekend, we hope. So that'll be good. And then I would also like to check out that beach that's near here.
You got a lot of plans.
We had a lot going on. And swimming lots of laps. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Although one thing I do have to do, but probably won't do this 4-day weekend, is I have to renew my driver's license.
Yeah, and I want to get mine updated too.
Thanks to COVID, they extended any licenses that expired, they extended the deadline. But only to August 1st, so it's really not that far. I mean, it seems like it's far down the road, but it's really not that far.
It's going to be here before you know it. And then it's like, once that hits, then there'll be just like a few more weeks before we're bringing our daughter back to school, pretty much. So
don't say that.
I know. I don't want that to happen anytime soon. So hopefully.
Well, I don't want it to happen, and I also don't want to drive all the way down there.
Yeah,
anytime
we're not ready.
I'm not ready for the.
Literally, I drove. Her boyfriend came to visit in Union Station, obviously in the city. It took an hour and a half with traffic to drive there. Picking up was like an hour there and back, which is normal. I can expect that. But then it was an hour and a half both ways, so that was kind of a lot.
When you dropped them off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was strange because you'd have thought that driving down there on a weekday, especially in the morning, would have been worse. But I don't know.
So I was like, where are these people going? Are they leaving for vacation for a week? Are they coming back from a vacation? Are they sightseeing? I don't know where
That is true. In the summer, the traffic patterns are a lot different because you do get people heading, normally most of the traffic is heading into the city, but you do get people heading away from this. It's just crazy.
I actually saw something today, which I never have thought about my whole entire life, and you may not have either, where some people, I'm just saying like this one person in particular did this, would figure out like an airport that they fly to somewhere that had transit, so it could be like coming to O'Hare that you can take a transit into the city or something like that, and just going somewhere for the day. And sometimes you can do like a day trip for not very expensive, and then just be able to get off the plane, jump on this thing and then come back. But then you never know if
you
it's
don't
going to
want
be
to go very far away.
Yeah, and you don't know if it's going to be delayed, then that messes up your whole day.
Yeah, I don't know that I would go through that much trouble, to be honest. You couldn't do it going to New York, because what would be the point?
Yeah, you could do, I don't even know, a couple states over, one state. But then obviously a lot of them, if you're going somewhere small, they don't have like transit thing. You'd have to take
probably go to Minneapolis. That's probably not too long a flight. I don't know.
We could go to the Mall of America.
That's right. No, in the summertime you want to be outdoors because that's the time to be in Minneapolis.
Canoeing.
Maybe.
I did go canoeing in high school 2 summers in a row for 10 days, which was a long time. And my first trip, when I was packing, I had makeup, hair dryer,
right.
all the stuff. And my brother was like, where do you think you're going to plug that in? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, there's nothing. There's no bathrooms. There's no electricity. There's nothing. And I was like, this is going to be horrible. It turned out to be fine, but
the last time I went canoeing was with our middle son when he was in 5th grade.
Camp Edwards.
At Camp Edwards in Wisconsin. That was a fun trip.
At least that was before he was vegan, so he could have the food there.
Corn dogs.
Oh yeah, corn dogs.
I think 3 meals a day. I think that's all they had.
I have never had a corn dog my whole
I
entire
have.
life. Never.
I have. Yeah, that was fun. And that was when one of his friends, they had a little bonfire thing.
A bonfire.
I think it was only a couple of days, like 3 days. And the night before we, left to come back, one of his friends, they had a bonfire and they were all sitting around. And well, it wasn't just the one friend, actually, like all the kids knew all the words, but one of their friends got up in front of the whole group and sang the campfire song from SpongeBob, and they all sang along. And at that point, I'm not even sure I'd ever seen that particular episode, but I knew it was from SpongeBob.
Right, and you're like, how do you guys know?
Yeah, it was really funny, and it's the whole production because it's kind of drawn out.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
So it was pretty funny. They sang the campfire song,
and then like lights out at 8:00.
Yeah, and I don't recall offhand if they did any late. When I remember we didn't go to Camp Pendleton. We went somewhere else. I think it was in 5th grade also.
Mm-hmm.
And we did some kind of like late night hike. And they, the idea was that some of the camp counselors would, sort of like hide in the woods and try to scare you and stuff like that.
And I
don't remember
to,
doing anything like that.
Girl Scout camp at a place called White Pines, which
I've been to White Pines.
Yeah, in which
I was
our
3
daughter.
years old when I went camping at White Pines.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Family. Yeah.
I guess anybody can camp there. It's not like really for Girl Scouts only.
Well, there's a public campground and then there's a Girl Scout.
Right. Which I ended up going back with Claire, but she was young, so I mean it was like in bed by like 9:00.
This is very appropriate since we're sort of like in the country.
It is,
with the rabbits and the wildlife and the birds.
And one of our great niece is actually camping for the first time for a month away from home, so that is kind of exciting. And as we kind of mentioned in a previous episode, we spent time with her younger sister, who's in 2nd grade. No, just finished 2nd grade, going to be an incoming 3rd grader. And she was all excited about how she was going to be in charge when her sister was away. She was going to be able to pick her dinners, have her favorite snacks, be in charge of the kids in the neighborhood.
And then we saw pictures
confirmed online
confirming
she is living her best life right now.
Exactly what she said. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's too funny. So question for you: did you ever go to a sleepaway camp when you were in the summertime, or did you go to camp at all? We never did, kind of thing. We just kind of like did things around, went to the pool, took like tennis lessons through the park district, but it wasn't anything major. So unfortunately, when my grandma lived with us, she was super religious, so we had to go to Bible camp. That was not.
That was a day camp. That wasn't
yes.
Wasn't, you didn't go away from it. My family used to go camping. I only went a few times with them because it was a production to get all those
10 kids.
No, not 10.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was a production to get everybody together. But we did go to White Pines when it was very little, and then we went to Devil's Lake. Although we didn't actually camp at Devil's Lake.
Is that Wisconsin?
It's in Wisconsin. We camped at a campground near Devil's Lake. We went to Devil's Lake, and then we also went up to, I think all 3 trips that I went on were in Wisconsin. We went to Kettle Moraine.
Oh yeah.
Which is really, really nice. And by that time I was like a freshman, maybe in 8th grade, something like that. So that was a little bit better because obviously when you're older you can do more hiking and stuff like that.
You can
that
start
was
the
pretty
fire.
Cool. Although I got sick on that trip.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, but it was short-lived. We had fun.
I've never been to Devil's Lake or Kettle Moraine, so.
Our dog got in trouble well, I guess we got in trouble at Devil's Lake because the dog got out of the car and ran across the beach.
Oh,
and
no.
They made a big public announcement about no dogs on the beach.
Oh, even on a leash?
Well, at that moment she wasn't on a leash because she broke out of the car. Someone opened the door and she bolted.
Yeah.
But they
as you would. The dog's like, I'm on vacation.
Right. They didn't want him on the leash. And by the way, windows were down, so she had air and all that. She was not going to die in the car. That is a serious thing.
Yes,
People
definitely.
shouldn't leave their dogs in the car. But this was in shade, windows cracked. It was just fine in the car for it. I think that kind of ended the trip, though.
Yeah, and everyone get back in the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been what's been going on with us. We will definitely check in with you in a few days, and hope your week is going well. Leave a comment below if you went to camp when you were growing up, or what kind of activities you did in the summertime. But we hope you have a good night, and we will talk to you later. Bye.